Wisdom Notes, Life After 60. Hello, you all. I'm Diana Brienne, and as many of you know, I've been working with my webcam versus my 1-minute videos done with the iPhone. And I like the iPhone because it's very convenient. You can move around and walk around. But with the webcam, I'm able to do longer videos, and I kind of like it. It gives me more of a full room effect opposed to just a very narrowed in effect. And you also never know what hairstyle or hair color I'm going to come on with. My natural color is a mousy blonde, but it's a very pretty blonde. It's long and blonde. And yet with color, it's a very light blonde, and that's usually how I keep it. But I also like to mix and match other colors into my life to keep life interesting. So today I'm probably a chestnut brown or light chestnut brown with some light tones to it. So I'm always doing that. You know, I can do that. I'm entitled to do that at over the age of 60. Like they say, old people can often say a lot that young people can't say. And I don't know whether that's really true, but I like to think it is. And so I like to think it is with hairstyles as well. And, you know, keep a fun attitude and keep life about you, keep momentum and inspiration about you. Well, you know, on my Facebook page, I share my daily wisdom notes. And my wisdom notes are what I feel comes to me. I can be waking up in the morning and just writing my scribble notes on a notepad, later transferring them over to my computer. I can be out on a run recording them. It's whatever comes to me. It can be about any subject matter. And I've been doing this since probably I was 6 years old, where I just have so many wisdom insights. I am in the beginning stages of writing another book, and of course I have all the material. I just need to put it in book form, and that's what I'm doing. And so my life is busy. It's just busy. But I love to share my daily insights, and I call them wisdom notes. And they're scribble notes on my notepad, literally scribble notes. So I'm going to put on my eyeglasses, and I'm going to go over some of the ones that I wrote down just in the last day. And you know, like I said, they can be random. I never give advice. I don't even really give suggestions. I just share my own personal truth and my own personal wisdom as it comes. And like I said, I never know what topic it'll be about. And so I thought, well, I'll share some of my notes. So let me put my glasses on here and get my scribble notes. And, you know, those of you that know me on YouTube, you can come over to my Facebook pages. I have a public page and I have a personal page. My personal page is maxed out, but my public page is never maxed out. You can always add to that. And on my YouTube page, I hope a lot of my Facebook and Twitter and Instagram friends come over here, because I am attempting to build up my YouTube following as well. So anyhow, let me see what I've got here. Okay, we're going to go back over here. And I was talking today, I did a live over on Facebook, so I'm kind of repeating this for YouTube, much of it. And one of the things I talked about was why you should have more than one social media site. You know, with all the problems that some of the social media sites have, you know, if there was an interruption in one, you always have another one to fall back on where people can find you. And I really, really like that idea. I talked about luxuries are important in life. You know, needs are basic, but luxuries are extra. They're not needs. And if we can afford them, and if they're appropriate for our lives and they're okay for our lives, I believe a luxury can be very, very good for us. It can bring back an enthusiasm that just a need itself cannot. So, you know, like the other day I went out and I bought me 2 perfumes. That was a luxury. It wasn't a need. And I already had perfumes, but these were 2 perfumes that I had wanted. And I really, really, it made me feel good. It was a luxury. And yet I would not run out and buy a brand new expensive car, because that would be beyond my comfort zone at the time. And I have a nice car anyhow, so I don't need to run out and buy another one. So you got to keep your luxuries, you know, in conjunction with the rest of your life and in balance. I believe that rest, sleep, you can get your edge back. So many people are tired and worn out. And when I get tired and worn out, I go to bed. I go to bed. And because I do work out every day and I'm 62 years old, I do a 5-mile run, I do my elliptical, I dance, I do Pilates, I do so many different exercises. But I also find that it's so very, very important for me to rest. You know, relationships, and I never like to refer to them as toxic relationships or toxic people. I call them just people with toxic behaviors. If you are around someone who is constantly having toxic behaviors, sometimes we have to step away from those people. And I always believe, if possible, step away lovingly, or at least limit our interactions with them, because often toxic behaviored people will try to pull us into their muck. They will slander our name. They will just make us feel crazy and confused and off balance. That's what they do. That's what they do habitually, and that's their way of keeping other people in control. They don't have healthy boundaries, and even if you've set the boundaries, they still step over. So sometimes the only way that a person can deal with toxic people is to step back from them at varying levels. Sometimes you've got to step away completely. Sometimes you can just do it in increments or steps until you're comfortable with where you're at in that relationship. Often others refuse to do the work and resent you for not doing it for them. So many people don't want to do the work it takes for their life to create the kind of lives that they want, and they resent people who have done the work. And that's often where resentment comes from. Resentment is often a place of jealousy. It's a place that you got what I didn't get, and so I'm going to resent you. But if we resent that person back, then it harms us. I believe in even dealing with people who are resentful is just move as far away from them until you're comfortable, because you can't change a resentful person. It's not about you, it's about them. Sometimes for some people it's easier for them to play a victim than to do the work necessary to create a wonderful life. You know, sometimes we hold on to problems that we should let go of, and sometimes we let go of problems that we should hold on to and solve ourselves. We have to know which is which. But there are some problems in life that if we let go of them, they will resolve themselves. And often people hold on to those problems and even sometimes make them worse. Know what relationships in life we should fix and walk away from the ones that we should not fix. I believe that not all relationships are meant to be fixed. Some relationships go bad because they don't even belong in our lives. So we should fix the right relationships and let go of the wrong relationships. Some people will remain resentful for their whole lives towards somebody, and there's nothing that another person can do. And another person can constantly try to make peace, and usually that peace is temporary at best. Sometimes we just have to walk away. You know, workplaces can be some of the most dysfunctional places ever to be, because when you step into a workplace, you're stepping into an environment with all kinds of personalities. Some workplaces are better than others, and some workplaces are overwhelmingly dysfunctional. Some workplaces we have to adapt to, but we cannot change. And in those kind of situations, for me, if I was in a work situation like that, I would find an exit route as soon as I could, to leave that job, because sometimes you can't change an environment. You have to leave it. Toxic behaviored people often will do all they can to gain sympathy and badmouth and smear someone else. Toxic behaviored people thrive on chaos and confusion because it disempowers the non-toxic behaviored person. We fall in love or love someone because of their loving or good qualities, but often we fall out of love with that person when they have lost those good qualities. Some jobs are not worth holding on to. People with disagreeable behaviors or toxic behaviors will often try to ruin your reputation. Sometimes you can't do anything about that. That's just sometimes what they do. And sometimes you just have to walk away and know that the people that love you and care about you will likely see right through that. And the people that didn't like you, well, they're going to probably side in with that person anyhow. There's things in life that we can't always prevent, like the storms. You know, we can't prevent the weather. There are things that we have to adjust to or work around or navigate through or navigate around. That's just reality. People who try to pull you into their drama, you must do your best at disconnecting from them. Otherwise, your life is always going to be one state of drama. Don't overstay your time in a place or a phase of your life. You know, I knew somebody who stayed too long and they were supposed to retire. And then what happened is they stayed an extra year too long and all kinds of chaos and confusion happened for them to the point that they almost lost their retirement. And so I believe that it's important for us to know when it's time to move on in any season of our lives. And also when to hold on and stay put. Build your best life now, even if you have problems. You know, life is always going to have problems of one kind or another. Some problems travel with a person their whole life. You know, it could be a physical problem. It could be something else, and they have to deal with that their whole life. But they go and they live their best life anyhow. They don't wait for the problem to go away necessarily. They continue to build their life, and they live a happy life. Build your life in spite of problems. Stop over pushing yourself. I believe in pushing myself. I push myself to where I feel that it's right. But if I start to over push myself, I back off because I don't want to exhaust myself. There's nothing worse than exhausting ourselves. And when we exhaust ourselves, often what happens is we end up making poor decisions and poor judgment calls. When you step out of your realm of expertise, often that's when mistakes will happen. So if you're going to step out of your realm of expertise, be highly alert to the possibility that mistakes can happen so that you can avoid them. Let go of trying to solve everyone's problems. We're not designed to solve everyone's problems. We're designed to solve our own problems, and we're designed to solve some other people's problems, but not everybody's problems. We're not meant for everybody's problems. Don't get caught into negative conversations. People who pull you into negative conversations often start out with pleasant conversations and then pull you in. If you know a person like that, it's often best to avoid any kind of deep conversation with them because they will pull you into that negative conversation trap, and you don't want to be pulled into that. Slow down in life to get your edge back. Sometimes we're going just so fast that we lose our edge and we make mistakes. Sometimes we simply have to slow down. Like I said, rest. If I want to get my edge back, I go rest. Exercise, take care of me so that I'm my best. And when I feel my best, I tend to have that edge, you know, that good edge that I make great decisions. Knowledge is what teaches the wise. Pain is often what teaches the fool. You know, a wise person will seek out answers so that they can avoid mistakes, but a fool will make the mistake, and that's when they have to feel the pain of their mistakes. So, you know, learn from the wise. Learn from a great mentor. A mentor can be a book. It can be a book wrote by an author. So in a sense, that mentor is a book, but indirectly coming from the author. You know, sometimes guilt protects us from doing something wrong. Sometimes remorse is necessary for us to have corrective behavior. And of course, I'm not talking about unhealthy remorse or unhealthy guilt. I'm talking about healthy guilt and healthy remorse. It can reset our behaviors or protect us from making a wrong choice. Identify the people in your life that you can trust. and identify the people in your life that you can't trust. It's so important. You know, trusting the wrong person can mess up a person's life. Not trusting the right person can mess up a person's life as well. If you don't stay in the right place long enough, you may not achieve the results you want. But if you also overstay your time in a place that you should move on from, you can mess up the results that you've created. You will not discover gold if you do not dig for it. Bitter people are often miserable people who want you to feel their pain too. Loving people are happy people who often want you to feel their love. God may provide you with the rescue boat, but you must be willing to swim for it. Being attracted to someone is only the doorway to a relationship. It is not the relationship itself. The relationship comes over a period of time. Information can change our opinion, and it's okay to change your opinion. Things itself, material things itself, will not make an unhappy person happy for very long. If someone doesn't admire you, it will show in their behavior towards you. If you have to beg for love, it's usually not love. Crisis can reveal things we never knew before. I believe in using email over a telephone if I can, because it saves me so much time. I reserve telephone calls for people who I really, really want to have that personal connection with. But sometimes an email can really save us a lot of time and not be so intrusive. Like when my husband is at work, I email him so that I'm not interrupting him. He can read it as he goes, and whereas a phone call can interrupt what he's doing, and he does the same with me. And so it's important to utilize all of your communication tools, not just the telephone, and sometimes an email is a good way to go. Well, these were just a few of my notes. I'm not going to go through any more. I would like to know how you like what I call speed wisdom, and jumping from one subject to the other, giving you my daily notes, if you like that. And I thought I would go over them and just share them with you. And if you like that, I may continue to do this. Otherwise, I may go back to the 1-minute videos and just do one particular topic for 1 minute. And I still may do that either way. But I just thought I would jump on and say hello to you all. So I hope you have a great day and a great week. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon again. God bless you. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.